fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company.
Let's ask Volo what he knows about mind flayers. Select option 1. What do you know about mind flayers?
Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know. Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close.
You can ask Volo about the mind flayers and their parasites to gain more insight into the situation. Here's what you should choose. Option 2. And their parasites? Do you know anything about them?
As a matter of fact, I do. But why do you?
Let's go with choice 2. A mind flayer planted one of their larvae in my brain. That's gonna catch Volo's attention for sure. Let's see what happens next. This is getting intense.
That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now.
Let's keep it interesting and choose option 1. Ceramorphosis? Tell me more. This should give us some more insight and maybe even a chance to show off how much we know.
I can't attest to the specifics, but I do know that not long after insertion, the host, that's you, turns into a mind flayer. As there's not a tentacle on your head, I can only assume you haven't been infected.
1. If only your disbelief could alter facts. Volo needs to understand how serious this is. This conversation is getting interesting. Let's see what he says next.
If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Ridiculous. Isn't it?
Let's keep things dramatic and go with option 1. Examine me. Find out for yourself. This way, Volo will get a chance to see the seriousness of the situation firsthand. Let's see what he discovers.
Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, dear sweet gods!
Let's keep the pressure on and go with option 1. I want rid of this thing by any means necessary. We need to show Volo how desperate we are for a solution. This should keep the conversation moving in a serious direction.
If we managed it, we'd have a specimen of incredible rarity on our hands. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted. Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much.
Let's go with option 1. Has your research turned up anything that might help with this parasite problem? Volo might have some new insights or solutions for our situation. Fingers crossed.
My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all.
Let's be cautious here. Volo seems a bit too eager with that needle. Let's choose option 1. How many times have you done this before? We need to make sure he knows what he's doing before letting him poke around near our brain.
I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over.
All right, Volo dreaming about it isn't exactly reassuring. Let's go with option 3. I'd rather get a second opinion. Better safe than sorry with something this serious. We can always consider other options later if we need to.
You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you.
All right, Volo seems pretty confident. Let's take a leap of faith and choose option 1. Do it. Let's hope Volo knows what he's doing and that this will help us out. Fingers crossed.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Let's endure the discomfort and let him carry on. We'll choose option 1. Endure the discomfort, let him carry on. We've come this far, let's see it through.
The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push.
Let's go all in and choose option 1. Clench your fists. We can handle this. Let's see if Volo can actually pull this off.
Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it.
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
All right, let's be brave and choose option 1. Hold as still as possible. We've come this far. Let's trust Volo and see if he can get this done. Hang in there.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick.
Okay, an ice pick is a bit too extreme. Let's choose option 2. No, this is too much. Knock it off. We need to draw the line before things get out of hand. Better safe than sorry.
Are you certain? We're nearly there.
All right, if Volo insists we're nearly there, let's give it one last shot. Choose option 1. Eye the implement, but allow him to proceed. We're committed now? Let's hope this works out.
Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
All right, let's take a deep breath and go with option 1. Hold your breath. We need to stay as still as possible and trust Volo to finish the job. Here we go.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run.
Let's go with option 2. Let's keep the momentum and show Volo we're holding on.
I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat.
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
I look like a goddamn pirate reject. What's next, Volo? You gonna tell me you're an expert in peg legs, too?
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage.
Let's keep it cool and go with option 2. All is well, I think. We don't want to panic just yet. Let's see what Volo has to say next.
Oh, fantastic! That squint does wonders for your gravitas, in my humble opinion. Though, perhaps there's something we can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.
All right, we've got a new eye with the C invisibility condition. Not the smoothest operation, but it could be useful.